B-roll, some train station or train B-roll. Unfortunately the train came at the wrong time. I needed to get down a bit further and I would have got a better view, but that's the way. It's nice to get out of the office at lunchtime and take in all this greenery and the canal and so on. It's very, very nice down here. Royal Canal here in Enfield. I think it's the 23rd or maybe the 25th of June 2025. It's a bit dull today and a bit heavy. I've got some B-roll there, taking some B-roll, and B-roll is footage that will allow me to make a different type of video, a video in which I don't actually have to feature. In other words, there'd be a lot of footage of perhaps scenes from around the area, train scenes, canal scenes, whatever, and the video would be a voiceover, so kind of takes the pressure off in terms of delivering to the camera all the time, and it also allows you to, for example, write a decent script, and if you wanted to deliver a particular point or make a particular point, you could do it that way, and it wouldn't be a bad way to do it. I'd always be experimenting, messing around with different ways of making content, or if you want to put it another way, telling stories and communicating. It's the bridge now. The bridge here at Enfield. The old N4 goes over the bridge. There's the canal there. Yeah, I'd be experimenting with ways of making content, making videos, telling stories and so on. And communicating is an effective way to do it, very effective way to do it. Communicating well, communicating in a different way, communicating in a way that surprises or fascinates perhaps some people. And many people obviously don't expect a solicitor to be making videos down a canal or under a bridge, or, you know, a graffiti splashed bridge, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter to me, because the videos do a very, very good job of work for me in terms of growing my business, growing my solicitor's practice, generating leads, generating clients, creating connection, and separating me, I suppose, from colleagues who would be every bit as experienced and every bit as qualified and capable as me, but may not be quite as good at communicating their message and selling themselves, selling their practice, selling their uniqueness, etc., etc. So I think that's a mistake by them. It's a missed opportunity, but it's not an opportunity that I miss, and I've no apology to make about that. I've no excuse or explanation to make about it. That's what I do, and everybody in any business should be concerned about exploiting their assets, exploiting their abilities, and making, you know, things work for them. Whatever works for them works for them, but they need to figure it out, and they need to make it a central part, I suppose, of their actual practice and of their actual business. Now I'm going to go back down here. Jesus, I nearly lost my phone. Nearly lost my phone that time now when I was going to pop into the canal. Very lucky. Jeez, I'd be lost, absolutely lost without the phone. I made a video there a few weeks ago about going to a Labour Court hearing, and you should check it out on my channel. But I was sympathising to a certain extent with the employer having to defend a case that really should have been was statute barred and shouldn't have given rise to time and effort in defending it. It did, and we had to defend it, and the employer incurred costs in doing so, and I had to spend the day out of the office doing so as well. But we got results there today from the Labour Court, and both claims were basically held to be statute barred, and the Workplace Relations Commission adjudicator in the first instance was right to agree to throw the cases out on our submission that they were out of time, and yet 12 months later or whatever we had to go through the same rigmarole again, the Labour Court. Now we've succeeded, but as I say, it's taken a good bit of time and money to defend the cases, defend the claims, and we've had to do that. And remember, bringing a claim to the WRC or an appeal to the Labour Court involves little or no money whatsoever. So sometimes it can be a free punt for an employee who's not happy with a decision from the WRC, etc. No more trains today. No, all the trains are gone. Oh no, later on they will be, but not during my lunch break. My lunch break is between 1 and 2, so I've had a couple of lads there over the last 2 days doing a nice job here on just cutting the hedge. And they're bringing the stuff away there with them as well, which is important. But they basically trimmed this hedge, and they did a nice job, very nice job, all around the property. Trimmed the top of it there and the sides of it and so on. There are two men from originally from Kilbeggan, County Westmeath, and apparently the older man, Tom Rattigan, went to school or was friends with my older brother there in Kilbeggan many years ago, 50 years ago or more. But they've done a very nice, very tidy job. And I'll stick their number up on the video if you need any work done. They live in Dublin and they do work all around Dublin. But they're pretty good old workers, very good workers. In fact, I'd recommend them. And they've been here the 2 days, but they've done a good job, very tidy. And most importantly, they're bringing the stuff away with them. So that's important, because you don't want a whole lot of cutting done, a whole lot of trimming and so on, and a whole pile of stuff left behind. But they're doing what they said they'd do, and there's a lot to be said for that. There's the old guy down there at the back, Tom Rattigan himself. How are you? That was a good job. Yeah? Oh God, yeah. As long as you bring all the stuff away now, you will. Huh? You put your number now up in the. That's it. Anyway, you'll be finished today. You will.
Yeah, just the feeder. Just all this is picked up. There, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's gone. Good stuff. I have to make the dinner out. Good lads there now. I must stick the number there. I put the number underneath this video on my YouTube channel or on the video itself. Just give them a bit of a plug. give them a bit of a plug. They're taking the stuff away there now as well in that little truck to have. So I'm happy enough with that job now. Biggest problem is out the far side there, actually, the field next door. Problem there is it's not my property, it's the farmer next door, and there's a lot of briars and thorns and rubbish. Actually, the far side there, you can see the nettles going up there, the far side, and it's hard to. We can't really do anything about that. All we can do is look after our bit here. But it's lousy to be looking out the kitchen window and to see nothing except thorns and thistles and nettles and so on and so forth. It's lousy, and I don't know why he doesn't do something with it. See the back there, just out in the next field there behind my hedge. Whole lot of scrub and a whole lot of shite, quite frankly, pardon the English. Anyway, my men have done a good old job there. Thomas Rattigan, Tom Greenspan, he calls himself. I'll stick a number up on the video. And I got new gates there recently as well from Leitrim Sawmills. They're a nice job now as well. I say I like them. We're hardly needing the gates, but that's the story. Anyway, hit the video or hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. It's just, I think it's the 25th of June 2025. I have to go and make the dinner now. Man's work is never finished. Found a really good spot there for my skateboard. That's up at the graveyard car park in Broadford. It's a really good, smooth car park. It's big, plenty of space, fantastic surface. The only problem is it's a bit public, but you know, it's Broadford, so it's not as if there's going to be a huge amount of traffic going past or anything. So I'm going to go up there now. Super surface here, although there's a few bits having fallen off trees and so on. Practicing on the smooth surface is a big help because you have more confidence, much more confidence about turning and so on. So it makes a big difference. Yeah, the smooth surface here now in the car park of the church and the graveyard. Graveyard is behind me there. The church is in front of me. But the graveyard is up there. My father's buried up there. But the smooth surface is fantastic here. It's a great place for practicing, especially practicing turning and so on, getting up a bit of speed, and you can do it with confidence. Having said that, there's still, you know, bits and pieces of trees and so on which would be potentially dangerous, as you can see there on the ground. The likes of those bits there now, and little acorns or little chestnuts and berries and stuff. very easy now to see the brakes coming on in the skateboard when you're on it, especially when you hit a stone or hit a little twig or hit a berry or a chestnut or whatever. So it can be dangerous, but by and large this is a beautiful car park, and this is my second evening up here now. I come up here for a few minutes every evening just to treat myself with a beautiful smooth surface, big surface. It's a big car park, and nowadays church car parks are not that busy, quite frankly. So